Okay, so I had my cup of tea. Miss Suarez is ready to read again with you. Now, for those teachers who are maybe watching this video, I know that this is not going to be specifically how you might do a shared reading lesson or a guided reading lesson, but this is distance learning, so we pretty much have to combine everything together in order to get the most bang for our buck. So if this is not familiar, I totally understand your criticism, but this is just going to be my way of trying to kind of engage my students in the best possible way with their reading. So thank you for understanding and being flexible with me. Now, class, today we're going to be reading Katie Woo, The Tricky Tooth by Fran Manushkin, illustrated by Tammy Lyon. Now, I might have pronounced those names wrong. I'm so sorry. We've been practicing in our reading a bunch of series books, and a lot of you are still discovering some of the series in our guided reading library and in our series library, and some books and series in our own school library. What's amazing is that when you start reading about a character in a series, it just makes you want to read more and more and more. So I actually managed to go back to the classroom and get all the Katie Woo books we have, so I'll be trying to read as many of those to you as possible. Now, the main character in this series is Katie Woo, and in this book, what do you think it's going to be about? Just by looking at the cover, the illustration, and the title, what might be something that happens in this story? Think. Katie Woo, The Tricky Tooth. I'm thinking this is going to be a story about Katie Woo trying to get a tooth out. And just because the title says tricky, I'm assuming, I'm making a prediction and inference that she's going to struggle to get that tooth out. Another place for me to get more information about what this book might be about would be to look at the blurb in the back. Because this part of the book, a lot of series books, in this part of the book, it sort of gives you a preview as to what this book might be about and gives you clues as to different events that could happen in the book. Ready? Hi, I'm Katie Woo. Everyone in my class has lost a tooth. Everyone except me. I have a wiggly tooth though, and I think it might fall out soon, but maybe that tooth is just tricking me. Wow, readers. So, my assumption was right. So one of the main things that's going to be a big deal in this book is the fact that Katie Woo's tooth is not coming out easily. See what she said about it? It's tricking her. So I'm assuming that there are going to be times where Katie is probably thinking, oh, now it's coming out, but then it doesn't. And she might think again, oh wait, now it has to come out, but then it doesn't. So as we read this book, let's keep that in mind, because remember, this is a series book. It's also a chapter book. So it might be something that happens where in the first chapter, there might be an event where she almost loses a tooth. And then in the second chapter, again, there might be another event. But I'm also assuming that at the end of the book, she will finally lose that tricky tooth. Are you ready? Katie Woo, The Tricky Tooth. Katie Woo, The Tricky Tooth. Let's look at our table of contents. Chapter 1, A Loose Tooth. Chapter 2, Still No Luck. Chapter 3, Way to Go. If you're someone who likes to take a sneak peek in your reading, one way you can also take a sneak peek is by looking at the chapters. The chapter titles can give you clues and start sort of warming up your brain to make predictions as to what might happen in each chapter. For me, I'm assuming that in chapter 1, A Loose Tooth, we're going to be talking a lot about how Katie really wants her tooth to come out. Because remember what she said in the back of the book, where everyone else in her class has lost a tooth except her. So we're going to probably be hearing a lot about that from Katie. And in chapter 2, Still No Luck, I'm making an inference that something might happen to Katie, or she might want to do something, or she tries to do something to get her tooth to come out, but it doesn't end up happening, which is why the chapter might be titled Still No Luck. And in chapter 3, way to go, that's a phrase I hear whenever something goes right. So I think that's the chapter where her tooth probably comes out. Did you see how I did that, readers? I used the table of contents to help me sort of get an idea and start making inferences, predictions as to what might happen in the book. Ready? Chapter 1, A Loose Tooth. Guess what? Katie told Jojo. I have a loose tooth. So do I, said Jojo. If we wiggle them, they might come out. Katie wiggled her tooth back and forth. So did Jojo. No luck, said Jojo. No luck, sighed Katie. Let's eat a lot of popcorn, said Katie. That will make our teeth come out. The two of them chewed and chewed. Jojo's tooth fell out. But Katie stayed put. She looked so disappointed, readers. It was her idea in the first place to eat all that popcorn. But her tooth didn't come out. It was Jojo's that did. At bedtime, Katie brushed her tooth a lot, but it didn't fall out. No tooth for the tooth fairy, Katie sighed. Chapter 2, Still No Luck. Okay, readers, in this chapter, I want you to try and read with me. We're also going to be sort of making some predictions about what the characters might say or what might be some of the words in this book. So don't forget to think about what the characters might say, what would look right, sound right, and make sense when we come to some of these words and sentences. Ready? Read with me. The next day, Miss Winkle asked Katie's class, "Who has a loose tooth?" Everyone raised their hands. Everyone bet, read with me, Katie. After school, Katie played soccer. She told Pedro, "I'll hit the ball with my head. That will make my tooth come out." Readers, what do you think Pedro might say to Katie? What do you think he might say? Remember what Katie said? She said, "That will make my tooth come out." What do you think Pedro is telling Katie in this picture? He might be saying, "Well, that might be an idea. You could try it." He might also be telling her about the gap in his teeth. You see how he's missing a tooth right there? Let's look at our words in our sentence. Ready? I, something, the space between my teeth. What would look right, sound right, and make sense right there, readers? I blank the space between my teeth, Pedro said. It helps me whistle really loud. Wait, what? That's confusing to me, readers. I'm going to have to go back and read again and really be thoughtful about what would look right, sound right, and make sense right there. Ready? I blank the space between my teeth, Pedro said. It helps me whistle really loud. I like the space between my teeth, Pedro said. It helps me whistle really loud. I'm thinking maybe like, just because this sentence, this part of the thing he's saying to Katie, it helps me whistle really loud. That sounds like something he likes about having a space between his teeth. So maybe like. But I'm thinking, what could be another word that would look right, sound right, and make sense right there? I love the space between my teeth, Pedro said. Maybe that still sort of makes sense. Something that might help me figure out what that word might be is to look at the first letter, just to see if it gives me any hints as to what would look right, sound right, and make sense. Ready? Like and love bow. Sorry readers. Like and love though. both have an sound at the beginning. We might have to still read on to see what other sounds are in that word. Ready? I, ah. Okay, what's the next letter? V, E. Oh, that's a snap word, readers. We know that word. What is that? Love. Good job. Let's go back at a running start. I love the space between my teeth, Pedro said. It helps me whistle really loud. Katie sighed. I want a space too. So readers, when we went to this word right here and we had it covered up, we really had to be thoughtful about what word would look right, sound right, and make sense. And we used the other parts of the page, the other words, to kind of get us thinking about what would make sense in that word. And then after we came up with some predictions, we used the letters to see whether or not our predictions, our inferences for what that word might be right there, to see whether or not it would look right. We read through the word and thought about what letters were in there, and then realized it was a snap word we already knew. Love. So don't forget to do that whenever you come up to a word that you might not know how to read. Look at the other words around it and see if they give you any hint as to what that word might be. And then always read through the word to see if there are any letters there that look right with the predictions you made. Ready? Let's keep on reading. When the ball came to Katie, she bumped it hard. She scored a goal, but her tooth did not. Well, it's one word after not, but for me, if I were reading it and not really paying attention to the words, I might have said, but her tooth did not fall out. Just because when I'm looking at the next page, I still see that her tooth is right there. But her tooth did not fall out. That's too many words, so that does not match. I'm thinking it has to be another word, a single word that might mean the same thing as did not fall out. I am having a really hard time coming up with what that word might be. So I'm going to look at the first letter and see if it gives me any clues. Ready? But it did not. But let's see. But her tooth did not. Well, ball. But that doesn't sound right or make sense. But her tooth did not ball. It makes sense with the picture. I see a ball, but when you think about how that sounds like, it just does not sound right. Let's think about what other words it could be. But her tooth did not bounce. A ball bounces, but teeth don't necessarily bounce, so that doesn't really make any sense. I might have to look at more letters and read through the word. Ready? But her tooth did not oh, you know what, readers? I'm going to have to use my knowledge of letters and sounds to figure out that word. Now, I know that the D, G, E, when I put those three letters together, they make the sound just like in the word mudge. And that's another series in our library. So I'm thinking that if I were to use this same sound, when I read this word, it might help me read through the word, make it look right, sound right, and make sense. Ready? Let's see if I can do that. But her tooth did not budge. Oh wait, that does look right, sound right, and make sense if I were to use this. Because budge means that it does not move. Like when you have a statue and you're pushing on it and it doesn't move, it doesn't budge. When you're trying to open a door but it's locked, it does not move, it does not budge. So I'm going to go back and get a running start, make my reading sound smooth. Ready? When the ball came to Katie, she bumped it hard. She scored a goal, but her tooth did not budge. The next day, Katie lost a sock, a button, and her pencil, but she did not lose her tooth. Katie's mom said, "Don't worry, your tooth will come out when it's ready." "I'm ready now," said Katie. Don't forget to read with me, readers. Ready? Katie went to dance class. She jumped and... what could this word be? Think. What would look right, sound right, and make sense? Look at the picture and think, what else is she doing? What do ballerinas do? Let's see. She jumped and jumped around. That would make sense. Ballerinas do that. She jumped and leaped around. Ballerinas do leap. Let's think. I'm going to make a list of some things that would look right, sound right, and make sense, just so I try them and inserting them in my reading. So she jumped and jumped. She maybe leaped. Maybe danced. Ballerinas do dance. What about she bounced? Maybe I could try it. Anything else? You might have come up with more words than I did, but let's double check. Remember, we come up with some ideas about what it could be, and then we read through the word and we see if any of our predictions look right. She jumped and wait, I have no words in my list that start with an S. I'm going to look to see what the next letter might be. That might help me change my prediction. Ready? She jumped and spa. I'm going to see if I can come up with more words as to what it could be. She jumped and... well, I know ballerinas spin. If I try spin, though, I'm not sure if it would look right, sound right, and make sense. Let me try it. She jumped and spin around. That doesn't sound right, but I can make it sound right. She jumped and spinned. Wait, no, that's not. No, that's not. That does not look right, sound right, or make sense with the way that this sentence is written. Maybe she jumped and spun around. That might work, readers. Let's see. She jumped and spilled around. Wait, she's not spilling anything in the picture. That would not look right, sound right, and make sense. She jumped and sprinted. Maybe sprinted. I know when you sprint, you kind of run really fast, and maybe she's running really fast in dance class so she can leap. So that might make sense. So let me look at the rest of the letters in that word to see if any of these words that I came up with look right, sound right, and make sense throughout the whole word. Ready? She jumped and spun. There we go. I got it. She jumped and spun around. She got very dizzy, but her tooth didn't move. Don't forget to keep on reading with me, readers. Ready? At school, Miss Winkle made a tooth chart. Put a check on it for each tooth you have lost, she said. Katie had no checks. At home, Katie told her dad, "I'd like to be a blue whale. They don't have any teeth to worry about." "That's not a good idea," teased her dad. "Our bathtub isn't big enough." I wonder what he meant by that, readers. Do you think you know? Don't forget to share it with me. Katie's mom told Katie, "It's a blank how teeth come out." "It sure is," Katie groaned. "This tooth is tricky. It's a blank how teeth come out." Read that with me. It's a blank how teeth come out. I wonder what that word could be. Do you think, readers, maybe at home you can make a list right now and come up with different predictions you might have as to what that word might say? Think about what would look right, sound right, and make sense right there. Katie's mom told Katie, "It's a blank how teeth come out." "It sure is," Katie groaned. "This tooth is tricky." I'm assuming, readers, that Katie's mom is trying to make her feel better. So she's probably saying something that's going to try and make her feel better. Something that is going to make Katie know and understand that it's not her fault that her tooth isn't coming out, that it's just something that it has to happen on its own time. So whatever word I have to put there probably has to connect with that. I'm thinking what word it could be, and you're doing this at home too, I hope. Making a list in your head or on a post-it as to what that word could be. It's a maybe wonder. It's a mystery, like maybe because it's something that no one knows about, so mystery makes me think about that. It's a word that almost means something very similar to something that people don't know, and it can't be more than one word just because it's only one word right here, so I wouldn't be able to fit the definition of mystery there. It's a wonder, it's a mystery, it's a it's a problem. Maybe problem? I'm not sure if that really makes any sense though, so I'm going to leave my list there. You probably have a much better list than I do, simply because you probably have an older brother, sister, or a family member who's helping you, so they might have helped you come up with more words that would look right, sound right, and make sense right there. But let's see if we can insert any of my words into that spot and see which one would probably make the most sense. Ready? It's a wonder how teeth come out. That could work. It's a mystery how teeth come out. That kind of that could work. I'm still leaning towards this word though. It's a problem how teeth come out. Not really sure if that is something that's going to make Katie feel better though, so I don't think that is something that would probably be right there in that space. So if it's wonder, what would be the first letter? That's right, a W. What sound does W make? Whoa, whoa, whoa. And if it's the word mystery, what letter would be there? An M. That's right, readers. What sound does the M make? So let's look at the first letter and think if either of my predictions seem to be what would look right, sound right, and make sense. Wait, there's an M, so it definitely is not wonder. I wonder if it's the word mystery. If it's the word mystery, then throughout the whole word it has to match. Ready? It's a mystery. So it was mystery, But wonder could have worked too. But wonder would not have looked right. Let's keep reading. Don't forget to read with me. Katie's mom told Katie, it's a mystery how teeth come out. It sure is, Katie groaned. This tooth is tricky. Okay. So if you want, in the last chapter, you can read with me or you can just listen. Okay, ready, readers? Chapter 3, way to go. The phone rang. It was Pedro. He asked Katie, when can you come to see my new puppy? Right now, said Katie. That will cheer me up. Pedro's puppy was adorable. His name is Toto, said Pedro. Like in the Wizard of Oz, said Katie. Cool. Can I hold Toto? Katie said. Oh, sorry, readers. Katie asked. Sure, Pedro nodded. Just be gentle. Toto was so warm and soft. Katie nuzzled him with her cheek. The puppy barked and nuzzled Katie back. Hey, said Katie, I feel something on my tongue. It's my tooth, Katie yelled. Way to go, Toto! Way to go, Katie, said Pedro. Now you have a space too. Katie couldn't stop smiling. That night, Katie put the tooth under her pillow. Don't fall out or anything, she said. I want the tooth fairy to find you. And the tooth fairy did. The end. Okay, so let's look at the glossary right here, readers. One of the special features in Katie Woo books is that there's a lot of extra activities and things that you can find in the back of the books, including questions and prompts as to what to do to extend your reading. They have a recipe book in the back of this one about how to make teas with apple slices, peanut butter, and marshmallows. Let's look at the glossary, because the glossary can help us expand our vocabulary and our words. Ready? Adorable. It means very sweet and lovable. Budge. Move. Remember, that's the word we were figuring out in one of the chapters. Gentle. It means not rough. Goal. In soccer, the score made by sending the ball into the net. Groaned. Made a long, low sound to show unhappiness. Can you make a groan, readers? Try with me. Ready? Ugh. Sighed. You all know how that sounds like. It's the same sound that you make whenever I tell you that we cannot go outside to play. You go, and whistle. I'm not even going to try to do that because you know Miss Horace cannot whistle that well. But it's to make a high, shrill sound by blowing air through your lips. Okay, readers. Well, that was our Katie Woo book for today. I can't wait to read it with you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.